This is Raider News with Craig Gorvanoff and Naomi Joseph with the news, Kelsey Ames with arts and entertainment, and Elizabeth Gallo with sports. And now from Studio B at Scotch Plains Fanwood High School, Craig Gorvanoff and Naomi Joseph.
Hello and welcome to the February edition of Raiders News. I'm Craig Gorvanoff.
And I'm Naomi Joseph. On January 16th, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday was celebrated across America. Locally, the Scotch Plains and Fanwood community joined together to turn that school day off into a day on. Various clubs such as National Honor Society, along with family and friends, volunteered throughout the school district to give back in one way or another. The National Honor Society was one group that was extremely successful. Let's go on location to find out more.
Hi, I'm Brooke Enners, here on location with Junior Savas Petridis. So, what did you do yesterday for Martin Luther King Day?
Basically, we raised money for Operation Shoebox. We stood outside of, each group of juniors stood outside a place to gather up money. I stood outside Bagel Chateau with my group, and I think we all together raised $700.
Wow, that's great. So, what are you going to do with this money?
Operation Shoebox takes the proceeds and buys things that'll make the troops a little happier, like maybe some beef jerky or some lip balm.
Now back to the studio.
Recently, DECA completed its regional competition at Middlesex County College. Let's go on location to see how they did.
I'm Jack Isola on location with a very important person in DECA, Caitlin Majak. Caitlin, can you tell us what your title is?
Yeah, I'm the Central Region Vice President of New Jersey DECA.
Okay, awesome. Now, at the recent DECA competition, how many kids from our school were there?
Over 100 kids from Scotch Plains Fanwood High School were at the competition.
Now, do you know how many people were at the conference in total?
In New Jersey DECA, there's over 7,000 people, and this was just a sixth of that amount, so over 500 people were at the competition.
Okay, awesome. Now, how well did we place?
We placed really well. Scotch Plains came out with a lot of finalists, and a lot of people placed within their events, too, so that was really great.
Now, how do you think our school is going to do at states this year?
Hopefully we'll place really well. We don't really have any high expectations yet, but everyone's studying really hard, so hopefully we can do really great.
Now back to the studio.
Governor Chris Christie used a pocket veto to eliminate the requirement for teenage drivers to spend an additional 6 months for driving practice time before getting a driver's license. The law would have required parents to take an orientation course about new young drivers. The driving bill would have affected about 100,000 teenage drivers and their parents. I'm grateful that I don't have to go through more red tape with my kids, stated a local parent from Denville.
Scotch Plains and Fanwood have decided to merge police departments by unanimous decision of the Fanwood Council. This support of a shared service agreement was, as Mayor Marr called it, necessary for property tax relief. Merging the departments will lower both departments' budgets, saving much needed money. However, since this is not a consolidation of the departments, they will keep the same resources, obtaining the same level of security.
And now let's go to this month's Outstanding Support Staff Member, Mrs. Beverly Moscow, Dr. Heisey's secretary.
Tom Lyons here on location with our Support Staff Member of the Month, Mrs. Moscow. Mrs. Moscow, would you like to give a brief description about your job and what it entails?
Well, I do work for Dr. Heisey in the main office, and basically my job entails, taking care of his appointments and typical types of clerical things like memos and what have you. We also coordinate a lot of projects in the office. We don't know if what the day is going to bring. That's really the beauty about the job.
Now, besides working here at SPFHS, what do you like to do outside of school, Ms. Moscow?
Well, I really enjoy cooking, spending time with my family, entertaining, and going out to dinner, basically.
What do you say is the most enjoyable part of your job?
All of the 1,500 students that come into this building every day.
What a sweet answer.
Of course.
Now, it's come to my attention that you're an animal lover and you have a dog. Now, what's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Xavier Nady Moscow.
Ooh, very fancy name.
Yes, Nady is what we call him.
What type of dog is it?
He's an adorable Shih Tzu.
How long have you been Dr. Heisey's secretary?
I've been Dr. Heisey's secretary since February 2003, and I remember that because that was the year that my son graduated from the school.
Very cool.
In fact, all my children have attended the school since kindergarten on through 12th grade, and I'm very happy and proud of that.
That's a very, very nice fun fact. I believe that wraps up our interview with Ms. Moscow. Thank you for your time.
Well, I thank you, and it's been quite nice and fun doing this interview with both of you. Thank you very much.
Model UN just got back from an annual conference. Let's go on location to find out more.
Hi, I'm Marisol Paca, and I'm on location with the Model UN member, Senior Justin Haas. So Justin, can you tell me a little bit about the Model UN competition earlier this month?
So basically what Model UN is, a bunch of students come together from a bunch of different schools and they represent countries within the United Nations. And then there are a whole bunch of committees within that. For instance, I was in the Security Council. I represented the country of Lebanon. And you basically talk about a whole bunch of international issues and try and come to a consensus on an idea.
And how did our school do as a whole at the competition?
We did really well. We won Outstanding Delegation along with 2 other high schools. 4 members got Premier Delegate Awards, and somebody won a chair position within their committee.
Wow, and how did you do yourself?
I won Premier Delegate for my committee, Security Council A, and then I also got selected for the Conference on National Affairs. 25 out of the 1,400 students within the Model UN convention were chosen, and it's in basically a national committee. It's pretty cool.
Congratulations. And so is this the biggest thing this year, or do you have more stuff for Model UN coming up?
This is pretty much the end. It basically picks up again next year, probably around November.
And I know you're a senior, so how do you think that Model UN is going to carry out, like, for the underclassmen? Do you think they're going to be able to, like, live up to what you accomplished this year?
Absolutely. A lot of younger kids, actually one of them got chosen for the chair of their committee. We did really well. Actually, the base of our delegation this year was underclassmen. I think they'll do pretty well next year.
That's really great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Now back to the studio.
And now let's go to this month's construction update.
Hello, Raider News. Dylan Brzezinski here with your construction update. And our school has decided to redo the doors in the stairwell. These doors here are nice and sturdy. They have push bars, very expensive. They also have nice kick pads. On the opposite side, there's a handle to open up. They downsized the windows. Used to be very big. These doors are probably 2.5 inches thick of steel alloy, and they only go to 90 degrees. Here's an example of the old doors. Wooden, they don't even have handles, no push bars, lots of glass. Like Mom used to say, lots of glass means lots of danger. So you can tell that these new doors are definitely a big improvement. And that was your Raider News construction update. So back to the studio.
And now let's go to arts and entertainment with Kelsey Ames.
Even as we move into these colder months, Scotch Plains Fanwood is as busy as ever. Coming up on February 7th, Math League tests will be held in the auditorium. February 11th is Day of Percussion here at the high school. Come to see some of the most amazing percussionists throughout the area. February 17th is Staff Development Day. Students are off on this Friday as well as the 20th and 21st for President's Day. SLC is hosting a clothing drive on the 25th. Please donate new or gently used clothing on this date. Also, Moonglowers will be performing on February 28th. Come out to support these talented musicians. Some of the club groups are especially busy this month. Members of JSA will be attending an annual conference in Washington, D.C., where they will be debating with high school students from across the Mid-Atlantic region. Also, many DECA students will advance to the state competition held in Cherry Hill on February 26th, 27th, and 28th. These business-savvy students will have a chance to compete at the national competition coming up in Salt Lake City. This month's A Look at the Past will feature a fashion segment from 1990. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Brooke Enders from Look at the Past. We are taking a look back at 1990 to see the popular fashion and fads of the time. You will be able to see the headbands were popular then are even more popular now. Now for a look at the past.
Hi, this is Anna Pryor with the February edition of Fads and Fashions, and in this month's edition I'll be talking about headbands. Kristen is wearing her headband far up on her forehead with her hair in front. Laura is wearing it far back on her forehead with her hair in back. Heather's wearing it far back with a little bit of bang, and so is Gina, but Gina's wearing the material one. Kristen, what do you wear your headband with?
Well, basically I wear it with anything. It kind of adds a more casual look to your outfit.
Okay, and Laura, why do you wear yours?
I usually wear my headband to pull my hair out of my face whenever it's bothering me, or just to wear my hair differently instead of wearing a barrette.
Okay, is it more comfortable to wear a headband to you?
Yes, it is, because sometimes when you wear a barrette, it pulls your hair, and with a headband, it's just, it fits right around your head, like the shape of your head, so it's really comfortable.
I see. And Heather, what kind of hairbands or headbands do you like to use?
I like black ones, and I like the suede ones and the velvet ones.
Yeah, and you have a suede one on now. It's nice. Gina, what outfits would you wear a headband with? Is it casual or dressy, or do you wear different ones for different occasions?
Well, it doesn't matter what you wear it with. I just wear it when my hair doesn't come out right, to just keep it all off my face.
So it's comfortable to you then, right?
Yeah, it's really comfortable.
Okay, thanks.
Now let's go on location to see how rehearsals are going for this year's production, Anything Goes.
Hi, I'm Brooke Enners here on location with 2 Rep Theater members, Hansel Romero and Casey Abramson. So, when is the play?
It's in March.
The second and third weekends of March.
Oh, cool. So, what are you guys doing for your parts?
I'm in ensemble, so I just am in the big dance numbers, and I run across the stage sometimes.
I am the bass in the Salo Quartet. I have a couple solos and a lot of stage time.
Oh, nice. So, how are you preparing for these roles?
We're here every Wednesday, Monday, and Friday.
And more.
And more, starting in February, and then in March we're living here.
So how long are you staying now at night?
Latest sometimes till 7, but earliest, for me at least 4 or 4:30.
Wow, so that takes a lot of commitment. When can I get tickets and how?
They're on sale right now. You can reserve them from my mother, from any of the band parents right now.
Cool. Oh, cool. Thanks. Now back to the studio.
Now let's take a look at February's Faculty Member of the Month, Jeffrey Cagle.
Congratulations, Mr. Cagle.
Thank you.
So what are some of the classes that you teach here at the high school?
I teach AP Calculus BC, AP Calculus AB, and Math Analysis Accelerated.
Wow, and what activities or clubs, sports are you involved in here at the high school?
I coach cross country, indoor track and field, outdoor track and field, and I'm the Math League advisor.
What are your hobbies outside of school?
Well, right now, unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of free time outside of school. I'm working on a second master's degree, so I try to squeeze in whatever I can, whether it's just out visiting friends or going to concerts, whatever I can squeeze in to kind of maintain my sanity after being here 12 hours a day or so.
Sounds pretty tough. And I heard a little story about a former student of yours. Can you fill us in about that?
Right before Christmas break, I'll try to keep the story as short as possible. I got a package sent to the school, and it turns out it was from a student I had a long time ago. This is my 16th year teaching. I had the kid when he was a freshman and sophomore, and this was like 14 years ago. I had him in AP Computer Science as a sophomore, and he thought he knew everything, that he didn't need to do things the way I wanted him to. And I guess he didn't do too well on his midterm because he didn't do things my way, which was the right way. And I kept getting on his case that you have to do things this way. If you want to be a computer programmer, there's things you need to do to be successful. And now it turns out he's uber successful. He's done very well for himself. He's a successful software developer. And he realized that all the things that I wanted him to do, that I was pushing him to do, that he didn't want to do, were the things that he spends the most time on now when he's writing his programs, that's what's made him successful. So as a token of appreciation, he sent me a brand new iPad. I certainly wasn't expecting that, because you do get gifts as a teacher, especially before Christmas break. You get your cookies and chocolate and things like that, and then you have your kids you wrote college recommendation letters for. They get you a T-shirt from their school. So I certainly wasn't expecting that. But then it was funny after I got that, because I opened it up in class and the story spread like wildfire. People would bring me cookies that they baked. They said, well, I know it's not an iPad, but it'll probably taste better. So it's really nice, because they're certainly not cheap. And it's a very nice thing to have. And I'd actually been thinking about getting one. But it's the thought that counts, that I made a difference that way, and that somebody after 14 or 15 years still remembers me and appreciates what I did for him. So I enjoy telling the story to people when they ask me about it. If he would have just sent me a letter saying it, which he did send me a letter with it, that the letter would have been good enough. But getting an iPad for something like that, it's just like, there's a big wow factor there.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Well, that's probably why you're Faculty Member of the Month. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations. Back to the studio.
Clark Cohen caught up with this month's featured artist.
Hi, I'm Claire Cohen here with your featured senior artist, Margie Diaz. Congratulations on getting featured artist.
Thank you.
Do you want to continue this throughout your entire rest of your life, or are you going to pursue it in college?
I haven't really decided yet. I don't think I really want to go to art school, but I think I might minor in it in college, or like still like have it in the background, I guess.
Do you have any inspiration or a famous artist?
Gustav Klimt is probably my favorite artist right now. I guess I get some of my inspiration from him, yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite type of artwork that you have done?
I don't really have a favorite type. I kind of like to like mess with like a bunch of different stuff. I've been into like sculptural kind of art, not necessarily like sculpture, but like stuff, you know, like working with my hands, like more 3D art, I guess.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And this is one of my personal favorites right behind me. And what did you do to create this masterpiece?
Well, actually, I just finished working on this in studio art. Our project was we had to make a giant face, so we had to use oil pastels, so I just used some oil pastels, made a face.
Well, it looks very great.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, and back to the studio.
Let's go on location to February's Student of the Month, Julia Mendez.
Hi, I'm Natalie Smith, and I'm here with Student of the Month, Julia Mendez. So, Julia, tell me a little bit about what you're doing in our community to be Student of the Month.
Well, I'm really involved in the music department, so I'm in a lot of choirs and rep theater show, and also I'm in Spanish club and SCN. So.
Oh, that's cool. So, tell me about the upcoming play.
This year we're doing Anything Goes, which is a really great show. A lot of dancing, a lot of tap. There's one big tap number that's really exciting, and we're opening mid-March, so everyone come see it.
So what's your role in the play?
I'm one of Reno's Angels. It's like a dancer role.
And do you sing?
Yeah, the whole cast sings, so.
Okay, that's cool. So what words of advice would you give to the next Student of the Month?
I guess just to keep doing what you like to do and take full opportunity of high school, what it has to offer.
So are you looking into some colleges and what you want to do next year and the following years?
I might try and follow music. I'm not quite sure though. Maybe education, so we'll see.
All right, that's cool. Thank you, and back to the studio.
Now let's go to Music Critics with Dan Lynch and Matt Kempner.
Hi, I'm Matt Kempner.
And I'm Dan Lynch.
And welcome to Music Critics. Today we will be reviewing rock band The Black Keys' new album, El Camino. Dan, what do you think of this album?
The album was great. It had 2 instrumental tracks on it, which I thought were, out of the blue. And from their last album, I thought it was a little more edgy. Matt, what did you think?
I have to agree. The Black Keys has always been really great at, combining the kind of rock and blues vibe that, everyone really liked from the first album, and they brought it back with this album, definitely. Fun fact, they recorded this album, in their garage to get kind of the more grungy rock kind of feel, which is, I think, a risky move, but it turned out very well for them. Dan, what can viewers, listeners who listen to the first album expect from the second album?
The second album brings a little more funk. The use of the bass guitar was a huge key to multiple songs, and the listener could just expect great music from the Black Keys, and as usual. Matt, what do you think?
I have to agree. The Black Keys, some of the singles off their album are Sister and Lonely Boy. The album came out about 2 months ago and is available on iTunes and any record store you can find. I give it a buy. Definitely a buy. Dan, what do you give it?
Definitely a buy on iTunes and buy the actual CD.
I agree. Support the band. Thank you very much, and back to the studio.
Let's take a look at February's Fashion and Fag segments with Maddie and Sarah.
It's Flannel Friday here at SPFHS, and there couldn't be a more perfect time to do a flannel edition of Fashion and Fads. Coming down the runway first, we have seniors Aaron Pierce and Eddie Lopez. Aaron is wearing an open red and blue flannel shirt on top of a gray t-shirt with some black Converse. Eddie is wearing a blue flannel with gray jeans and gray Sanooks. Coming down the runway next, we have junior Lindsay Wilkinson and senior Stephen Garber. Lindsay is wearing a flannel with rolled up sleeves, which is red and white, leggings, and some comfy black Uggs to keep warm this winter. Garber is also wearing a red flannel with slate colored pants and Nike sneakers. Coming down the runway next, we have junior Taylor DiCarlo and senior Joe Murkey. Taylor is wearing an open red and blue flannel over a orange tank top, a brown leather belt, boots over white socks to keep warm.
Joe is wearing a blue and yellow flannel with gray colored jeans and black sneakers.
That was your Flannel Friday edition of Fashion and Fads. Now back to the studio.
And now let's go to sports with Elizabeth Gallo.
Thanks, Naomi. As the varsity teams here at the high school reach the halfway point of their seasons, many teams are doing better than expected. Let's go on location to find out how the boys basketball team is doing so far.
Hi, I'm Liz Schiller, and I'm on location with senior Anthony Byers on the varsity basketball team. So, Anthony, do you have any big games coming up this season?
We have Rawway coming up soon. That's going to be a good game, and we play St. Mary's this Saturday.
Awesome. And what are your personal goals for the rest of the season?
Personal goals, average 10 points, and to win some state games this year.
All right, that's awesome. And I'm on location here with junior varsity basketball player Tom Bonnicum. So, Tom, how is the season going this year?
It's going good. We're 8-7 right now.
That's awesome. And what has been your biggest game this year?
Our biggest game was probably versus Governor Livingston last week. We won by 3.
The girls basketball team is having a great season. Let's go on location with one of the girls.
Hi, I'm Dan Lynch here with junior Taylor Cebaleo. Taylor, how's the season going so far?
It's pretty rough, but we have a couple games left before the county seeding, so we need to get a couple wins so we can get our record up so we get a better seed than right now.
Who are some key victories this year?
We beat Plainfield in the beginning of the season, and we played Morris Knowles, which we thought it was going to turn around our season, but we've had a couple losses, so it set us back.
Let's go on location with a member of the boys swimming team to see how the season's progressing.
It's on location with sophomore swimmer Austin. So how's your season so far?
Pretty good. We're 10-1, lost to Pingree, and was there pretty good. We never beat them in the entire history.
That's good. So what is your guys' goals for this year?
We're going back to counties now, and we're trying to get back to states like last year and win that again.
So any big meets you guys got coming up?
We have counties Sunday, and then we're trying to get back and, we get the state meets.
All right, good. Back to the studios.
The girls' swim team is having a great season so far. Let's go on location with the member of the team.
Hey, I'm here with Nicole DePaula from the varsity swimming team. So, Nicole, how's your season going?
Our season's going pretty well. We just had counties this weekend, and we got second to Westfield, which was a really good accomplishment for us because we were supposed to get like third or fourth. So we were really happy that we got second.
That's great. And personally, how's your swimming going?
It's going pretty well. I wasn't swimming last year because of an injury, so I'm doing pretty well considering that.
And what are the future events coming up for swimming?
We have a meet against Cranford on Thursday, and then we start our state meets next week.
That's great. Now back to the studio.
With an outstanding winning record so far, the boys wrestling team continue to improve. Let's go on location with a member of the wrestling team.
Hi, I'm Liz Schiller on location with senior Luke Vuno, part of the varsity wrestling team. So, Luke, how's your season going this year?
It's good. We're 16-1.
All right, that's awesome. I'm on location with freshman Brian Lapham on the varsity wrestling team. So, Brian, how is the season going this year?
It's going good. There's a lot of new kids that progressed, that season went along, and we're winning a lot of matches, so it's a lot of fun so far.
That sounds awesome, Brian. Do you have any important matches coming up this season?
Yeah, we have a match tomorrow against Roselle Park, and it's senior night, so wish everyone can come.
All right, that sounds awesome. Back to the studio.
Let's go on location with Ahmed Shinawi, who caught up with a member of the boys ice hockey team.
I'm here with senior captain Alex Markovitz of the hockey team. So, Alex, what are your goals for this year?
This year, as a team, our goals are to qualify for states for the first time in school history and win a county game.
Sounds good. Good luck with that. And what's your record this year?
Right now, we are 7-1. We have a tough week ahead of us. We got Johnson twice, Cranford, and GL tomorrow. And hopefully we could pull at least 3 wins out of that.
Not too shabby of a record, and hopefully you guys do that. Alex, would you mind naming me some key players of this hockey team?
Some key players are Captain Andrew Skoog, Assistant Captain Kevin Lewis, and the other assistant, John Tomasulo, as well as Tyler Hardgrove, and then freshmen Davey and John Bruckman.
All right, well, that's a great squad you got there. Thank you, Alex, and good luck with the rest of the season. Now back to the studio.
The bowling team has shown much improvement this year. Standout Nick Stawicki has led the team to great success. Let's go on location with a member of the team.
I'm here with freshman bowling sensation Sam Mahler. So, Sam, how's the season been?
The season's been good. We've had some success. We were a huge underdog going into county finals, and we came in 3rd place. But we came through when it mattered most.
Solid. And what's there to look forward to for the rest of the season?
We have sectionals coming up February 11th, so we're hoping we can make a big impact on states.
Right on. And back to the studio.
Taylor Sabueyo caught up with a member of the winter track team.
Hi, I'm Taylor Sabayo on location with 2 junior winter track stars, Justine Valdez and Christine Miklas. So what events do you run?
I run the 400, 800, and 4x4.
And Christine, what do you run?
Hurdles and high jump.
And I heard your county relays were just a week ago. How did you guys do?
We got 2nd in sprint medley and 2nd in 4x4.
And what upcoming meets do you have?
We have states individuals and county individuals.
And what are your goals and expectations for that?
To place and just run a good race.
And how about you?
Same thing.
All right, thank you very much. Now back to the studio.
Taylor Sabueyo caught up with February's Male Athlete of the Month, Nick Stawicki.
Hi, I'm Taylor Sabayo on location with February Male Athlete of the Month, senior bowling captain Nick Stawicki. You currently just rolled a perfect game. What was going through your mind?
Well, I was pretty confident through the first 9 frames, and then once I got to the 10th frame, I was starting to shake a little bit. The nerves were starting to get to me, but I kind of just thought about it that I had the chance to throw a perfect game, so kind of got over it.
I assume once you got to the 10th strike, crowds were probably coming up and saying, oh, he's on his 10th strike, 11th strike. What was going through your mind when you had more people supporting you?
It was really kind of awkward because once you get like 9, 10 strikes, people get really quiet. So it's just kind of creepy having everybody being so quiet behind you, but I kind of just talked myself through it.
Were there a lot of people at school that acknowledged you for bowling 12 perfect strikes?
Yeah, a lot of people in my first period heard the announcement and were congratulating me. A bunch of teachers that I had in the past and this year, and all sorts of students from around the school.
And if I heard correctly, you are ranked in the state. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good because I'm leading our conference this year in high game, high series, and high average. And it's good to be ranked for once. I think I'm the first, but it feels kind of different.
Do you think you have a likely chance to bowl another perfect game before the season ends?
Well, the season's about another 3 weeks or so, till about mid-February. So I have a chance to, and hopefully I will.
Do you plan on taking bowling to the next level in college?
I'm probably going to bowl for the club team at NJIT, and hopefully I'm on the team.
Ahmed Shinawi went on location with this month's Female Athlete of the Month, Erin Pierce.
Hi, I'm with Erin Pierce, the Female Athlete of the Month. So, Erin, what are your goals for winter track this season?
Well, last spring I qualified for the Meet of Champions in the 800 and the 1600, so I hope to be able to do that this winter also.
Congratulations. And where do you think you're going to run in college?
I don't know. I'm either going to University of Maryland, Boston University, or American University.
Sounds awesome. What are your accomplishments so far for this year?
I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I broke the 1,000-meter record for the school.
So, Erin, are you excited for spring track?
Yeah, I like spring track a lot better than winter track because I like going outside, and also the indoor tracks are a lot smaller, so I would rather run on a bigger track so you can do less laps.
I see. And can you just tell us what's the difference between spring and winter track?
Well, an indoor track for winter is 200 meters, so to run like a mile, which is 4 laps outdoors, it's 8 laps indoors. So I like running like the 4 laps because when you go around the turns, it makes your times like slower.
That wraps it up for this month's sports. Now back to Craig and Naomi.
That wraps it up for the February edition of Raiders News.
Have a happy Valentine's Day.